Hey, hey, hey! Welcome to a video series I've created called 30 Moves, 30K, Your First Deal Done. Now, who is this for? This is for the investor who's never done their own deal, which is a lot of people. There's a lot of people that will look at real estate for months, maybe years, and never do a deal. I have met people that have even paid exorbitant amounts of money for coaching and never done a deal because of all kinds of reasons. And we're going to get into that in a later video. But for now, that's what this is about. We're going to do 30 of these. And hopefully, with these 30 tips, you will absolutely get that first deal done because there are deals to be done. At the time of this recording, some of the markets in the United States are kind of a pain because the pricing, the interest rates, the this, the that, and there's always going to be a reason why deals are tough at certain times. And this time is no exception, but so what? Who cares? There's still a ton of houses. And if we look hard enough, as they say, seek and you shall find. So let's dive right in. And the first lesson I want to learn, lesson one of 30, is very simple. Decide you want to make at least $30,000. Now, Frank, why would you say that? Of course I do. You would be amazed at how many people will get into deals because they just want the learning experience. And there is nothing wrong with that. Let me be clear. If you want to do a deal just for the experience to learn, that's cool. We're not going to knock you for that. But the reality is, you probably did not get into real estate because you just wanted experience. You want to make some money. You want to change the quality of your life. You want things to be different for you. And so, in order to do that, you've got to set up deals for success. And it sounds real easy, but the reality is it takes a bit of effort, and it's usually a lot more effort than you were likely told or researched online. There's a lot that goes into this. And yes, I know I'm online saying, well, Frank, you're online. Well, you're right. I am online. But the reality is, I'm in the trenches now for almost 17 years, and we've done huge projects, small projects. And I will tell you, it is not an easy business, but you can absolutely win at it if you're committed. And the first thing you got to commit to is decide you're going to make $30,000 or more. Because if you're not going to make that, then guess what? You're not going to make it. And I will tell you right now, if you're going to flip real estate, and you're making less than 30,000 on a flip, it's a lot of effort for a small return. It's a lot of, even on a small project, it's a lot of effort for a small return. So I always tell people, yeah, we want to get 10% net, but really we want to make 30 grand. So we're not making at least 30 grand. It's going to be hard. So maybe you do a project, you make 15 grand. Well, hopefully you have some other projects making more. Because if you just do one and you only make 15 grand and it takes 6 months, here's the thing, do the math. It's only $2,500 a month. If I do a 6 month project and it makes 30 grand, I just made $5,000 a month. Newsflash, in today's world, 2025, $5,000 a month is not enough for a lot of people's monthly expenses, right? So it's just giving you some perspective. Don't just think of it as, oh, I got my 30 grand. There's a time period to it that you want to commit to. And what does that equal monthly? Now, if you're going to make 30 grand in 3 months, oh, that's 10,000 a month. That's sounding a lot better. Okay. But 15,000 in 6 months, that's not exciting, right? 2,500 a month. If I'm only going to make 15 grand, I better be done in 3 months, right? So I like to tell people, aim for 30 grand, because when you divide it by a 6 month project, which is a good timeline for a simple project, especially when you're starting out, it gives you 5,000 a month. You feel good. You can build momentum off of that. So that is what you got to decide up front. Am I doing this to make money? I mean, some are like, oh, I want to serve the community. That's great, serve the community. I want to make a difference in my world. That's great, make a difference in your world. I want to get the experience. That's great, you want to learn. Nothing wrong with any of that. But here's the thing, in order for it to be sustainable, it's got to be profitable. Let me say it again. In order for it to be sustainable, it's got to be profitable. Okay, so unless you're doing this for charity purposes, 30K, make that decision, make that commitment. That's step one. Because once that decision is made, it changes the filter of everything I'm going to tell you in the next 29 videos. It sets the filter for what comes next. If your filter is, I just want to learn, that's a very different outlook than I got to make at least 30 grand. By the way, one last thing, 30 grand in a worst case scenario. Okay. We're not going to talk best case. Worst case, will this deal make 30 grand? Yes or no? The answer is yes. Now we're talking. Now we got something to be excited about. So, hope you found this helpful. Remember, lesson one, decide to make 30K. Okay. And let everything else be secondary. All good stuff. But in order for it to be sustainable, it's got to be profitable. Hope you found this helpful. In fact, I'm sure you did. I know somewhere in these 30 videos, you're going to find some great value. I will see you in the next one.